Hello again, friends. Mad Laughter, Laughter Matt here with my channel, What Else You Got, where we do two or three things. We watch a comedy clip that was suggested by you, the viewer, something that I've probably never seen before and probably never even heard the comedian before. Number two is I laugh, and or number three is I don't laugh. But then we talk about why, and I give you all a chance to talk about it and educate me in the comments about maybe why I didn't think it was funny or why I'm an idiot or whatever. So make sure you all do that and you subscribe. So hit the red subscribe button below. Super easy to do. Just click on it and you'll be warned of any new content that comes out of this channel so we can go on this comedy journey together in as close to real time as possible. So I need feedback every step of the way from you guys because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. So please just give that one little click to the subscribe button down below. I promise it's painless, and I think we're going to get a lot of value out of it as we keep this conversation going. So it's super easy, guys. Go ahead and do that. So last time we saw a really funny clip by a guy named Bill Burr. I've had 3 or 4 clips of his on right now. He was telling a story about well, I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it, but essentially it's about a helicopter and something that happened to a guy who was on his first day of his job there as a helicopter pilot. This is fresh off, me doing a Joey Diaz story form piece of comedy that I thought was really, really insane and funny. So, I think I'm really starting to dig this story type of comedy. Not that that's the only kind I'm going to end up liking, just that I'm digging it right now. So I think that's just something, just full disclosure to be aware of, that I'm starting to, I'm starting to like. So, so once again, here's what we know about this new clip. So this video was heavily requested by a number of you. Cassie D. Struck Tutorial is on the goat. Callie Kanan, probably some others, so I apologize if I didn't name you all. It's my fault. I just wasn't able to find the other mentions on there. So I have literally never heard of this guy. His name is Bert Kreischer. I've never heard him speak. I haven't seen him in moving pictures. That being said, I did laugh out loud. I lulzed when I saw the thumbnail for this video because it's a dude that's, sort of heavy set like myself with his shirt off on stage, telling this story. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. So hopefully that means the clip might be hilarious too. So just real quick, I did a little bit of demographic and psychographic reporting on Bert for you guys. So here's what I found out about the dude. He's over 40. He's from Tampa, Florida. So, what do we know about people from Florida? I don't know. They're awesome. He was born in 1973. He attended a private Jesuit school when he was a kid. So he was in a religious school when he was a kid. So I don't know what that means for his comedy. And he was once personally given the title by Rolling Stone magazine as the top partier at the #1 party school in the country. He was the top partier. That means he drank and partied the most or the best or whatever. So that's where he's coming from with his comedy. Okay? So I'm wondering how robbing a train in the Russian mafia fits in. So I'm excited to listen to it. Let's hear this guy Bert describe how he was the top partier at his school at the time, or in the back in the day. Tell us about robbing trains with the Russians. So here we go. Bert Kreischer. What else you got?
When I was 22, I got involved with the Russian mafia. Here's how it happened. I went to school at Florida State. I was not a very good student. I was there like 7 years. I was there in most of the 90s. I was in college longer than grunge music was around.
Wow, there we go.
So, this is how bad of a student I was. One time, I signed up for a Russian class thinking it was Spanish. And it took 3 classes before I realized, I don't think this is Spanish. So I got up to leave. The teacher, who was hot, he definitely worked out. I'm kidding. It was a girl. It was a girl. And she was hot. She still is hot. She stopped me. She goes, don't go anywhere. I need 14 kids to teach this class. You're the 14th. I need to teach this class in order to get my master's. So, if you sit back down, you don't have to do anything all semester, and I'll just give you a C. I was like, Strasvutia, bitches, I'm back. So I took Russian 1, 2, 3, and 4, never learned a word. Think about what I'm saying. I took 2 years of a language, took 4 semesters of my college career, four semesters. Russian 4 was taught in Russian.
Why does he have no shirt on?
Do you have any idea what it's like to go to a class and sit there like an immigrant at the DMV all day? Like, the end of Russian 4, same teacher pulls me aside. She's like, we're taking a trip to Russia. If you go, you'll get a minor. I was like, okay, hold on. You know, I can't really speak, read, write, or understand the language, right? She's like, I'm fucking well aware of that. You gotta remember, I was taking tests in a language with which I was unfamiliar with their alphabet. Do you have any idea what it's like to take a test and make up hieroglyphics? And the answer is star, circle, hashtag shoe. She goes, it doesn't matter. We need kids to make this trip happen. And if you go with all the classes you've taken and the ones you will take, you will get a minor. And I was like, oh, that's all you had to say. Let's go to Russia and fuck some minors. It was different minor, obviously. Learned that the hard way. So we went to Russia in 1995. This is when the mob ran everything, and they told us that our very first night. They sat the whole class down. They're like, listen, we have paid off the mafia to keep you safe. In exchange for our money, they give us 2 young gangsters. I'm in the room like, this trip just got fucking awesome. The word for gangster in Russian is banditi. They go, these banditi are gonna live with us. They're gonna walk you to class. They're gonna walk you back from class. They're gonna take you on field trips, walk you back from field trips. Do not speak to them. They're in the mafia. Do not look at them, do not engage them, do not interact with them. I was like, they're gonna be my best fucking friends. So the first night I grabbed a bottle of vodka and a 6-pack of Baltica, which is our local beer, and I planned a sentence. I was gonna say, Здравствуйте, меня зовут Bert, очень приятно. Я работаю кошка. Does anyone speak Russian in here? I love that someone says no. No. I did a head count earlier. It doesn't look like it. I'll tell you what the sentence says. It's a badass sentence. I worked all day on it. Hello, my name's Bert. It's very nice to meet you. I work pussy. Kind of. It really means I work with cats. I didn't know the fucking language. What do you expect? It doesn't matter, because the second the door opens and I'm face to face with a real Russian gangster with the wife beater and the tattoos, with the track pants and the cigarette, and he just stares me up and down. A frat boy from Florida State. I was wearing a fanny pack. He just looks at me and goes, "Что?" I fucking panicked. And everything I had planned on saying flooded out of my head. And all I said to him in Russian in his doorway was, "I am the machine." And he started laughing. He goes, "What did you say?" I was like, "I'm the machine." He grabs me and he goes, "Come in and tell my friends." Brings me in a room full of 9 Russian gangsters drinking and smoking and just goes, "Stop! Tell them what you said." Now I'm like, fuck it. I'm the machine! They looked at each other, looked at me, and they're like, fuck it, he's the machine! And I became the machine, and these guys loved me. Yes.
That sounds like a
You gotta realize, though, the reason they loved me is I went shot for shot with them that night, all night long, until like 4 in the morning. But all I knew how to say in their language was, "I'm the machine!" And I fuck cats. So, we did everything together. Like the guy that answered the door, his name was Igor. He was like my best friend. We did everything together. We ran a pool hall scam. We stole a boat. It was literally the best summer of my life.
How long? Oh, they were there the whole summer.
And then one day, the whole class is taking a trip to Moscow. It's an overnight train trip. And I say to Igor, I go, "This is gonna be a blast. We gotta be in the same cabin." And he goes, "I can't go." I said, "Why not?" And he goes, "Different mafia runs train, different mafia runs Moscow." I said, "Well, hold on. What's that mean for me?" And he goes, "Don't worry. I set up banditi. I tell them about you. They'll take care of you." Sure enough, we get to the train station, and he introduces me to my 2 new gangsters, Igor and Igor.
Oh, that's real.
And he says to me, he goes, guys, this is the machine. If you give the machine vodka, you'll have a great time. The big ear, two Igors looks like a kid on Christmas. He's like, oh, I can't wait to play with a machine. He grabs me and he goes, the machine doesn't sit in coach. The machine sits in first class with us. I'm like, that's what I'm fucking talking about. We go to first class and it is pimped out with booze, food, and here's the real gangster part. Second the train takes off out of the station, everyone that works on the train comes in to pay their respects. The conductor walked in, rips off the stars and stripes to his shirt, places them on my lap and goes, this is a present for the machine. It would be an honor to do a shot of vodka with the machine. I'm 22 years old thinking, these machine stories might have gotten out of control. We drink all the booze in an hour and Big Igor stands up and he goes, machine, we go to the bar cart to get more vodka. I'm like, fuck it, I'm in the mob, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. We roll into the bar cart like a big dick in a locker room. Just,
this guy must have
not that I've ever been that guy, but I've seen it. Just smack. You know the look where everyone looks like, oh shit, okay. Oh, someone's here, okay, all right. Igor looks at me and in Russian he says, machine, go behind the bar and grab bread. In Russian. And I understood him. For a second, I'm like, I'm fucking learning. I'm learning the language my way, not through flashcards and textbooks, but by joining the mafia. I get behind the bar, I'm like, Igor, I know what you said. He's like, go for your machine. Can the machine find cheese? And I was like, Sir, cheese, I got it. Give me another one. And he's like, grab vodka. I was like, I already know that one, give me another one. He's like, grab the money. I'm like, huh? He goes, grab the fucking money. And I realized at that instant, we're robbing the bar cart. And I'm the one doing it, hooked on phonics style. I grab the money, walk out. Two of my classmates see me and they're like, you're in so much trouble. Go back to our first class cabin and within 5 minutes, the head chaperone of this train trip, not the whole trip, just this train trip. She was an English teacher who did not speak Russian, who hated me before I robbed the train. She comes over to our first class cabin and swings the door open with that like liberal arts confidence, just. This shit is over. You're done. Stand up right now. You stand up. You're done. Stand up. And Big Igor looks at me confused, then smiles, takes a big sip of vodka, spits it in her eyes and goes, no one talks to the machine like that. Shuts the door in her face and goes, fuck that bitch, this is Russia.
I think that was true.
Don't worry, machine, when it gets dark, we have good time. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing when it gets dark? Reaches in his pocket, pulls out a ring of keys, and he goes, we're robbing the whole fucking train. I'm a good person. I don't cheat, this is why, let me tell you, I don't cheat on my wife. I don't cheat on my wife because one morning, our whole family was in bed, the dogs, the cats, the girls, my wife, and we were just giggling, and it was pure, it was perfect. And I thought to myself, I don't ever want to screw this up. This is the most important thing. This is what life's about. And they got up to make chocolate chip pancakes, and I laid in bed and I said, I will never cheat on my wife. I had a conversation with myself. I said, if I ever get into a situation where a hot girl's flirting with me, or I think she's flirting with me, and it seems like it could go further, I'm just gonna cock block myself. I'm just gonna look her in the face in front of everyone and go, I don't cheat on my wife! Now, I may be wrong. She may not be hitting on me. She may throw a drink in my face, slap me, or I may be right. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is that I don't cheat on my wife because I've already had that conversation. Here's the problem. I never had that conversation about robbing trains. So when presented the opportunity, I thought I'd be like, not me, I'm gonna go back and work on my verbs. But apparently, when presented the opportunity, I'm the guy that's like, fuck it, let's start with my class. So we robbed them first, while they slept, if that makes it better.
Oh my God.
And then we robbed the whole train.
Oh.
And if there's any consolation, we robbed me too. My bag was with them. And then we drank all night long. All night long. Like literally, until 6 in the morning. Top 5 drunkest I've ever been without throwing up in my entire life. We pull into Moscow at 6 a.m. I'm pissed drunk. You ever been so drunk you're like, I know I got to piss, but I can't find my dick? Train stops, sun's up, I'm hammered, door opens, same teacher, not mad. Curious, right? She looks me in the eyes, smiling, and goes, I want to be the one to tell you they've alerted the police. And I look out, and on the platform, my whole class is standing there with a cop, talking. They're upset. They've been robbed. I get it. Apparently, they'd never heard snitches get stitches. Big Igor sees this and is completely unfazed. He's like, oh, don't worry. I talked to police for both of us. I was like, oh, thank God. He cracks a bottle of vodka. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't bring that out to an officer, maybe. Lights a cigarette, walks out to the cop, who's taking a statement. The cop is taking a statement. Igor walks up behind him, grabs him by the arm, spins him around and goes, fuck you! We fuck you in the mouth! We fuck you in the ass! I'm like, stop with the fucking we shit! Now the cop is just staring at me and I hear him bark out, Pardon, skidye, which I don't even know what that means, but it doesn't sound like, you're okay, stay there! It is a come to Jesus moment where you know you fucked up. All I thought as I walked to the cop, who's standing in front of the class I just robbed. Next to the gangster I robbed them with, my only thought was, this isn't how I plan on spending my second junior year. And the gulag taking hot dicks to the throat. I get 5 steps from the cop, who looks impatient as shit. He takes 2 big ass steps, grabs me by the arm, spins me away from my class, away from Igor, pulls me right into his face, and he goes, so, I understand you're the machine. Nice. Tonight you party with us. I was like, what? He's like, tonight you party with us, yes? And I looked at him and I was like, wait, I'm not in trouble? And he gets so close to me, I can smell his morning cigarette, and he goes, no. Fuck that bitch, this is Russia.
Okay. That's all right. So, a bit to unpack here. That was again Bert. So right off the bat, I mean, it made sense, right? Right out of the bat, when I talked about his bio, I had no idea that was coming. I had no idea any of this was coming. So I announced that he is #1 partier at the #1 party school. Smash cut to the first couple sentences of the video, and here's the bit, and he's talking about how basically he's a partier. So he spent 7 years in college and had to redo a bunch of years. I mean, so there we go. Awesome. Yay. So that's where the mindset is coming from, right? And that's also where this comedy is coming from. So I thought that was really interesting. Number one, I always love it when I don't know why, but when comedians crack themselves up, I think it's funny. So he cracked himself up at the very beginning. I thought that was funny. You know, when he's describing being in a foreign language class, I think we can all understand that. Especially if any of you guys have had the rare opportunity to have a foreign language class with someone who only speaks to you in the foreign language, even if it's a one-on-one class, so you have no idea what they're talking about the whole time. You know, that immersion, which, you know, can make you feel like you are someplace where you don't understand anything. You're just looking around dumb. I thought that was hilarious. You know, just the last couple things that, you know, I thought were funny. You know, in these story type of comedies, there's ebbs and flows, right? It's not one joke right after another. So even though you're not laughing at some of his setups, you know, they're still mildly amusing, but not as funny as the actual jokes go. You know, the running theme at the end was the machine, right? And that's actually what he closed on. So the idea that he was getting this reputation, he only knew how to say the one word machine. I'm sure he comes off as, you know, you guys have those types that are just partiers, right? So he comes off as a fun guy, partier type, American, you know, he's a little rare. So these guys take him under their wing. Come to find out, he's a top partier. So he's already predisposed to be able to hang out with these guys, which is perfect for, you know, him surviving the night, right? Like, seriously. If he wasn't, he could. The guy probably would have died. My thing is when I start watching these, I always think like, God, how much of it's real and how much of it isn't? Because obviously, the more real it is, like if it actually happened, that's the funnier it is. And so I try to like convince myself that everything he said was real. I'm hoping his closer was real. The problem is I started doubting it at the end, where the cop kind of brought him close. You guys tell me, did you guys doubt it at all? I sort of doubted it as soon as the cop kind of brought him in and was like, "The machine, you're partying with us tonight." How did the cop find out about that? They call. I mean, anyways, so that was just my suspicious mind kind of working for some reason at the end there, which probably took a really good closer and squished it. So I apologize for that. But the other thing I wrote down was the fact that the instructor that hated him before he had robbed trains, which I thought was funny, and also that she had liberal arts confidence, which I don't know what that even means, but I think it's funny. I don't know. I just when he closing the door or whatever. So yeah, Bert. I'm interested to see any more of his stuff. Does he have anything better? What else has he got? You guys, what else does Bert have? Is all his bits story based, or does he actually have jokes? I'm assuming all of his stuff is sort of from that background. Now that you understand, he went to a Jesuit school and then he became a big partier. So, all real interesting stuff. Real funny, guys. That was another good one. It's in the top 10 again. I'm going to start making a top 10 list. I think Bill Burr so far is still on top. Bert's up there. So you guys, thanks for watching today. I'm trying to put out some more content real soon. Subscribe, remember, click on the red link. I really appreciate it if you do that right below the video. Comment, tell me what's going on, Instagram, Twitter, challenge me, bring me some new clips. What else you got out there, you guys? Let me know, and let's have a discussion about it as well. So thanks a lot. Have a great day. Thanks to Bert for his story on robbing trains in Russia. I appreciate it, and peace out.